Hello, everyone. Today we come and look at again. We're gonna look at my portfolio. Yesterday was the price about $33, and we see, when we bought it, it was $83, and it went down to 60, and now it come back. Yesterday came back to 73, but today it came back to $78. Wow! So instead of yesterday we lost $3,000. Today we lost only $1,000. And but like compared to the all-time high, we actually gained $6,000. So now we still down like from all-time high, we down about we down about $7,000. But good news is it coming back up. And like this one they call like uh high risk, high risk investment. So high risk investment, that's why because the price is so volatile. Like not too long ago, it was 96 and come all the way down to 60, and now it come back to, 60, let's see, 60, 75, 66, 75 now, went back down to 73 and now like $78. So like at least the trend is going up, but like when I'm looking at the trend, I see that it's coming down. Like if it's the same thing last month, it might coming back down in the next like 4 or 5 days. So if it's coming back down, I'm not surprised. But I'm really surprised when it will go back up like that. So I was not thinking it go back up at all. But like I said, the price of the stock and especially like and cryptocurrency, it's just like random walk. So like now it go up, so tomorrow you don't know, like it's always go up, it's already go up, you don't know like it come back down or still going up. So we do not know that. So yeah, so that's why it's hard to predict the where the price is going day to day. But if you look at like in the long run, let's say Solana in the long run, where this one is not. Let's see. Okay, so let's do 1 year. I think something wrong with this, but we can look at it. It was like 60, like not even $1, and then it went up to $3. It went up to 43. It went up to 200, $250, and then it come back down to $9, and then it went back up again. Oh, because I had a lot. Okay, that's why. So yeah, it going up and it come back down, and then it going up, back up again, and come back down and go back up again. So if you look at like history of the price, you know that it's gonna come back either in 3 years or only in 1 year, or maybe in 2 years. So we do not know when it's gonna come back up, but in the long run, it will come back to the price. And like because like because not because of the crypto or the stock market and everything, not because of like it doing anything, but the money, pretty much like the US money and everything, like the inflation will eat up, eat up the value of dollar, and the printing money, the value of dollar come down. That's why cryptocurrency it always go up in value because of that. And yes, so. So right now, even though it's 78, tomorrow it might become down to 65 or something. But in the long run, it will be different. It will be, in the long run, it will go back up into, 200 again, 250 again. So at least I hope anyway. And it can all also go back down too. So that's why we don't know. But in the long run, you know, 2, 3 years gonna hit all time high and then come back down and then it go back up again. So I guess patience. All we need to do is patience and see what today the gold went up went back up from under 4,000 to $4,000 and the oil price come back down to 68 and look like every stock market look like it when it go back up today. So it's really good news. And you see the TWK today it actually broke another record, go to 143. So this one broke record again, but very small record break, but it actually break the record again. So and this one really important, like it really really safe because like the price moving is not that much. I think I look at 1 month, it moving from 137, 138, come down to 137, went back up to 140, come down to 138, went back up to 142, and then go to 143 today, and now it's stuck in 142. So this one really safe, and the really good about this is they do the stock buyback when they have like the money that like they call free cash flow, the money that they don't know they do not they did not use to invest, so they use the money to buy back the stock, and that's why make the stock go back up. And I look at the news today. You see the U.S. stock pause after blockbuster second quarter. U.S. stock futures slips as investor took profit after one on the strongest quarter in years. Markets are now focused on Thursday employment report and comment from Fed Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh, everybody like kind of like believe that he the hawkish person, but Trump picked him, and Trump really want the interest rate to go down. So let's see what he gonna do about it. Fed Chair Kevin Warsh ignore inflation risk easing. Warsh said inflation risk had declined recently, but reaffirmed the Fed commitment to its 2% inflation. And he also mentioned something. He only looked at the left side of the 2 point. That means if the inflation is 2.99, the Fed still happy. It still hit the target. Investors are watching clue on the timing of future interest rate decision. That's really important because if the investor can tell that, the Fed gonna increase the if the Fed increase the interest rate, so if they can predict what the Fed do, they actually can make money from that. Because when they increase the money, the stock come down, so they go short. And then if they know the investor, uh, the Fed, if they know the Fed gonna decrease if the investor decrease the interest rate, they go long. So they make money if they can predict what they do. June job data taking center stage ADP report, softer than expected private payroll growth, increasing importance of Tuesday official employment report, which could significantly influence interest rate expectation. Oil price retreat. We can see oil price come back down to 68 now. Oil price retreat. Oil price decline as optimism grew over diplomatic progress involving Iran. Helping reduce inflation concern and easing pressure on energy markets. Student loan change begin today. New federal student loan rule take effect July 1st, affecting borrowing limits and reemployment option or repayment option for many students and families. M&A activity reach record level. Global merger, M&A merger and acquisition. Merger activity had climbed roughly 2.8 trillion. I want to mention after Tesla went public and then they bought an AI company using only their share. So I think that so that is another acquisition and I think that the cost stock acquisition this year as a company increasingly pursue acquisitions amid AI-driven industry change and shifting economic condition. Nike share remain under pressure. Nike continue to face investor concern despite better than expected earnings, with executive warning that weak demand, especially in China, may persist. High yield saving accounts still around 5% despite the Fed holding rate steady in 2026. Several banks continue to offer saving and money market account yield up to about 5% APY. So this only short term. If you put money in the saving account or the money market account, so it let's say it in month to month base, if not day to day base. So this month you get 5%, but next month you might get lower. But CD is different. CD is you can lock in. If you do the 1 year CD, mean that your rate lock in 4 to 5% for 1 year, or sometimes you have 3 or 4 year CD. You can lock in really good rate, handsome rate 4 to 5%. I want to mention I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, all of this rate is under 1%, 1% under. So now it really handsome return for older folk that have a lot of money and they don't want to invest in stock market, so they can put, especially in the put, especially they can put money in the CD and lock a really handsome return. AI and semiconductor stocks remain market leader. Investors continue to rotate toward AI infrastructure and semiconductor companies while questioning whether heavy AI spending by major technology firms will translate into stronger profits later this year. So to be honest, to me, I think AI are really in the bubble, but they actually make profit. It's unlike ah, they're not really making profit that much neither because OpenAI reported losing money, SpaceX also losing money, and Anthropics. still like still losing money, but it's really promising and all. And at the same time, it might be we are in the bubble. That's why usually company that is in company that's in the bubble, they usually like have ability to raise a lot more money than the company that outside the bubble. So just like SpaceX, like for example, SpaceX, they now worth a lot of money, and like Nvidia, the biggest company in the world, even bigger than like I think it's bigger than all the country in the world except China and America. While we on that, let's look at Nvidia stock. Nvidia stock still 197. Look at for 1 month. It coming down. So it all time high over here, 237, and it coming back down. Look like it cooled down a little bit. But look at the market cap is $4.7 trillion. So it all like all the country all over the world it has less than $4.3 trillion cap, except of course China and America. So yeah, when the company that in the bubble, they usually like easy to get fund. So what investor are watching like Thursday, U.S. June employment report, non-farm payroll. And tomorrow we look at together, see what job report gonna be look like. Any signal from the Federal Reserve on interest rate. He speak a little bit soften tone a little bit when he say the inflation rate is softening. So, and he picked by Trump, he might be not that hawkish. At least I hope so. Second quarter earnings session beginning later this month. Oil price and geopolitical development. Oil price coming down and look like Iran peace deal. I guess ceasefire, MOU or something, holding water, so it's good. And continue momentum in AI related stock. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching, and we work together. Hopefully, this money go to 85. Then we can start making money back again. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.